Have you ever wanted Google Photos or, any of those smart photo system search capabilities inside of Adobe Lightroom Classic CC? Well, then this is the video for you. I've had the pleasure of working with Xire Search for some time now, and I now have been testing Xire Search with Xire Search Pro, and I'm quite impressed. Now, if you recall, I have always said I'm a skeptic of AI, but I do use AI, artificial intelligence, for different things. And one of the things that I love AI for is search capability and tagging of images. So Xire Search will actually increase the RAM resources, the uses and usage of your computer's RAM. It is sort of resource intensive on your computer, but for good reason. It's looking at all of the photos in your Lightroom catalog and really creating its own database of each photo and what the photo is comprised of. So for example, if you have a photo that looks like a selfie, it will have this sort of database of selfie attached to it. If it's a woman, it will attach woman to it. So that way you can at one point just go ahead and search your entire catalog using Xire's search and search for a female selfie. Pretty cool, right? You can search for a variety of things like blue car, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So here we are inside of the Lightroom plugin manager, and this is Xire Search. By the way, I don't know if it's actually pronounced Xire or Xer or something like that. I'm pronouncing it Xire because, I don't know, I think that's a cool word anyway. So that's how I'm pronouncing it. So Xire guys, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. So I'm using version 1.3.3. You might be watching this down the road and it might be a later version with improvements. I don't know. So I have fast initialization enabled. That way it is speeding up the process a little bit. I prefer using smart previews, which will also speed up the process. That means I can even leave my external hard drive detached and disabled, and it'll still be able to initialize. And then if you do a lot with stacks inside of Lightroom, I highly recommend doing that because it'll actually look at stacks, which will further speed up your Lightroom, the scanning, the initialization of Xire's database. So to utilize Xire, you first go to Library, plug in Extras, and you'll see that you have a whole bunch of different things. Now, the first thing you'll need to do before you do anything else is initialize photos. And I'm not going to do that because I've already done it, but basically you just give it the okay and you have to step away because it is going to take a while. I have hundreds of thousands. I have 175,000 photos in my catalog. It took hours for this to go. And that's even with the speed improvements that I checked off, as you just saw. But once that you have them all initialized, you can then search by different things. You can search by an example photo. So if I want to search for a photo that is like the photo I'm currently on, I can do that and it'll find similar photos. I can also search by keyword, by faces, and I can transfer keywords to the metadata of the photo. So I'm going to show you those three things right now. I'm not going to show you search by example photo because it's kind of obvious what it's going to do. It's going to search for a photo that is similar to what is currently selected. But if I search by keyword, it's going to bring up this prompt that's going to say, what keywords do you want to search for? So I could type in something like a car, and I'm going to check off car, and I'm going to say I want it to be dominantly blue. And let's take off these because these were a previous search. So I want to look for a blue car. Right? Now I can search the whole catalog or just the current film strip. I'm going to search the whole catalog because I am currently really not looking at anything specifically. And I'm going to hit start. Now what it's going to do is I have it to display 100 at max. I'm going to have it say 5 just so it's a little bit faster. Now it's going to create a collection that is controlled by Xire. And that collection is one that could be edited. However, really you should just let it be and create another collection and drag things out of the Xire one. Because as you can see here, it will override the previous results if you have that checked and whatnot. It's always going to send to the same Xire collection. Okay, so we're going to hit start. And you can see already it says 13 photos match the criteria. So you know what? I'm going to say 13 just because we know that it's going to be 13. And we're going to hit start. and let it go. And it's going to take a second or two to figure it out. I can then go to the collections. You can see that it's giving me some further instructions, but I'm going to go to collections, and XIR search is right here. Let's collapse all of these just so that this is more prominent. And you can see there's 13. Let's show all of them. You can see that it's giving me pretty good results. Blue car, it's a duplicate, blue car, another duplicate, blue car, another duplicate. I got a bunch of duplicates in here from the past for some reason. Blue, sort of a blue car. It's very good. It's not a blue car, but it does have a blue background, so the software this is where AI sometimes fails. It didn't fail necessarily, but it's not precise, right? It sees blue, it sees a car. So AI is going to use that. It doesn't know 100%. It even has the blue tint on the hood of the car. It's a reflection, so it thinks it's a blue car. And then we've got, it's a white car, but it's kind of a cool tone, so it looks kind of bluish. And then we have another one that's the inside of a car. It's a little cool toned. And then a t-shirt. That one's just very wrong. It's just a blue t-shirt, but it thinks it's a car, probably because of the shapes of the cameras. But you get the idea. And as you can see, it created a collection which could become a synced collection to Lightroom Mobile if I wanted to. Now let's go back to library, and then we're going to search for faces. And when you search for faces, you can actually specify if you want it one face, single portrait, two faces, several faces, any faces, and what age group you want the faces to be. Now you can only select one at a time of these two parts. So we're going to say two faces, and I'm going to say an adult, and we'll say male with a smile. All right. Now there's 1,242. I'm going to just say show me 10. And we're going to override the previous results. Give it a second. It's going to update this. And again, it's going to tell us that you can sort everything. And here are those photos. These are my brothers. This is me and a cousin. Again, cousins, sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Me and a cousin. And then we got some karate photos. Again, all male faces with smiles. So as you can see, XIR does a pretty good job with that as well. So you're not actually looking for a specific person's face like you can do already inside of Lightroom, but you're looking for a specific type of facial expression, age of the person, and things like that. Now there's also transfer keywords. So I'm going to go here and look at what it recommends to transfer the keywords to the metadata of this photo. So these are all the keywords that it recommends. You can see these are the keywords that I have already for the photo, and these are the ones that it's recommending. Face, adult, teenager, person, two faces, sport, smile, karate is already there. And I can go ahead and I can check all these, or I can deselect, I can check specific ones, and we can go ahead and transfer all of these. So I'm going to transfer and close, and then all we're going to do is look at the metadata of this photo, and you're going to see that now all of those keywords are right here in the metadata. Now the cool part about XIR Search Pro is that you can actually do this in batches of a lot of photos, or all of your photos in the whole catalog or the film strip. You can say, do all of them and, select the ones that match and just do them all. Now, I do recommend doing these sort of in batches if you're planning on doing that, not doing the whole entire catalog. Do it for a film strip, make sure it's working the way you want, and then you can move forward. Now, XIR, like I said, does a really good job. Overall, it does have some false positives, if you want to call it that. As you have seen, it does have some false positives. The blue car was not really precise. And, but otherwise, it does a very good job, just in general. So let's do another one, just so you see, bearded. And let's see if there's something with gray in a beard. No. Let's see if there's anything black with a beard. Nope. If I take away that, 186 match a beard. So let's just see what comes up with beard. And give it a second. And these are all my self-portraits and then a client photo from years and years ago. So as you can see, it does a good job there. Now, if you ever think that new photos are not being indexed in the database, you could actually go ahead and go to library and update photos. And what this would do is we'll just update to make sure that all the photos that haven't been indexed already are indexed in Xire. Now again, this does take time, it does take resources, so either do the whole catalog and step away, let it go all night, or just do film strips at a time. Let's say you import a new job for a client. It does actually update, add to the index as you import, which does increase the speed of import, or increase the length of time for importing. But it's okay. I'm really digging Xire. I think it's going to add a lot to photographers' workflows, especially for keywording. Now, if you're a stock photographer, this might be your best friend for keywording your stock images. Otherwise, if you're always looking for ways to figure out what to put in your alt text for when you upload images to your website, this could help give you some keyword ideas of what you could do. Now, maybe in the future, Xire will also do that for descriptions. That would be really neat. There's already tools out there to do that. They're not great, but I could see Xire working towards that since they're focused heavily on the images, the photographs, and they're heavily focused on photographers. So I want to just say real quick, thank you to Xire for letting me work with this tool. I really appreciate it. I am a big fan of what you're doing, even as a skeptic for artificial intelligence. I'm a big fan of what you are doing. I can only see good things happening from here, and I'm really excited to see what is coming in the future. I'll of course be sharing that as you update things. I'll share that. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below now. I publish new videos every Monday and Thursday, whenever possible. You don't want to miss it. Oh, and karate kick that notification bell. See you in the next video.